Our topic for today is my country, Ghana. But the main topic that we are coming to concentrate is the people of Ghana. And then the people of Ghana. Okay, Ghana has three main vegetation zones or belts. These are the savanna, the forest, and the coastal belt. So we have three main vegetational zone or vegetation zone in Ghana. So these zones, some kingdoms or states were formed in each of these three zones. 1, 2, 3. For example, in Savannah zone, there were the Mole Dagbani, that is Dagomba, Mamprisi, and Nanumba, and Gonja too. So, you see, in the forest zone too, the forest zone were states such as Bono, Adansi, Asante, Bentra, Akwemu, Peki, Achim, Kwew, and Asen. Okay, so let's go to the people who were consisted in the coastal zone. The coastal zone or the belt, coastal belt, also had states such as the Anlo, the Fantis, the Ga-Adangbes, the Efutu, the Ewe, the Ahanta, and the Nzima zone. So all these are the states that can be found in what? In Ghana. So now let us pick a kingdom or state from each of these belt zones and discuss the factors or the thing that made them to what? To grow or to develop. So now we are coming to learn the rise and growth of the Mole Dagbani states. The Mole Dagbani states emerged in the Savannah belt of Ghana. These Mole Dagbani states include Dagomba, Nanumbas, and the Mamprisi. So these are the states from Mole Dagbani. Okay, now, so let's go to the factors for the rise. You see that the rise and the growth of the Mole Dagbani states. So the factors for the rise. What influenced the rise of the states? So 1, powerful rulers. Powerful rulers. The Mole Dagbani states were blessed with powerful leaders like Tohaji Bewa, Zeri, Tohagu, Setubu, and the rest. So these leaders were able to fight and defeat the indigenous people they met on their arrival. That because of what? The powerful rulers. They became powerful. And then there was a lot of rise in this state. They became a lot. Another factor is superior weapons. Superior weapons. The Mole Dagbani people had superior weapons which they used to fight. They used to fight against their enemies so as to expand their territories too. And then another factor too is agriculture. The nature of vegetation in the Savannah zone made the Mole Dagbani people to go in agriculture. They cultivated crops such as millet, guinea corn, cereals, and reared animals like cattle, goats, and sheep. The cultivation of crops and animal rearing made these states to get money which they used to develop their state. Another factor too is indigenous industries. The Mole Dagbani people were also engaged in craft work such as weaving and leather work. This brought about what? Economic growth of the states. And another factor is Islamic religion. So Islam as a religion also helped the Mole Dagbani states. The Mole Dagbani people were Muslims. So Islam united the people with Islamic festivals, mode of dressing, and marriage ceremony. So let's go to the Asante Kingdom. The Asante Kingdom. The Asante Kingdom developed around the forest belt of Ghana. As we said, we have three main vegetational zones: Savannah zone, forest zone, and the coastal zone. The Asante Kingdom they developed around the forest belt of Ghana. So let's discuss the factors of the rise of Asante Kingdom. So 1, able leadership. Able leadership. Asantes had able or powerful leaders such as Osei Tutu, Opokuware, and Obri Yeboah. These rulers helped the kingdom in many ways to grow. For example, Osei Tutu united all the Asante states into one kingdom and introduced the Ojra festival for them. He also organized the Asante army and won many wars. So let's go to the number 2 to knowledge of iron. Knowledge of iron. The Asante used iron to make tools and implements such as sickles, tools, cutlasses for agriculture. They also used these tools to clear the forest. They also used iron weapons like arrowheads and spears to protect themselves too. And then the third factor too is what? Introduction of firearm. The Europeans brought guns and gunpowder to Ghana. The Asantes that had money bought these guns and gunpowder from these Europeans and used them to fight their enemies and protect themselves. So this made the kingdom to what? To grow too. Okay, now the role of the golden stool. Let's see how the golden stool played its role. So the golden stool also helped the Asante kingdom to rise. The golden stool was instituted by the great friend of Osei Tutu, who was Okonkwo Anoche. The golden stool served as a symbol of united the people together. So the symbol of the golden stool means what? Is to unite the people of the Ashanti. Okay. And then last but not the least, the trade. Trade also led to the rise of Asante. The Asante had some important natural resources like gold, ivory, and kola. The Asante sold these items to the other people and got a lot of wealth. So these are the things that led to the rise of the Ashanti, the development of the Ashanti kingdom. So now let's look at the things that led to the Fanti state too, the factors for the rise of the Fanti states. The Fanti states developed in the coastal belt of Ghana. So if you look at, we have stated the coastal or the vegetational zone, and we did some for the Dagbani, that was the savannah, and then the forest zone, that is the Asante. Now let's go to the coastal zone, the Fanti kingdom. So the Fanti states developed in the coastal belt of Ghana. So now let's look at the factors of the rise of the Fanti states. 1. European presence. European presence. The Fanti state grew in population and size because there were a lot of people from the interior to the coastal to trade with the Europeans, and especially when the Europeans arrived and settled on the coast. So, introduction. Let's go to number 2. Introduction of firearm. The Europeans brought the arms to the Gold Coast, and the Fantis acquired these firearms and used them to defend themselves, and also to capture other states. So that one too helped to the development of the Fanti states. And then on number 3 to fishing. The location of the Fanti states along the coast made them to engage in fishing. Fishing provided them with jobs, income through the trade. So this one too helped the rise of the Fanti states. And then the number 4, salt production. The production of salt also helped the Fanti state to grow. There were many communities in the Fanti's land that produced salt from the sea. Salt was an important trade item which provided wealth to the Fanti state. And the last, not the least, agriculture. Very, very important. Agriculture also helped the Fanti state to develop. The coastal grassland enabled the fancy to rear animals like cattle, sheep, and goats. The interior Fanti state like Agona also had very fertile land, which they used to cultivate crops such as tomatoes, pepper, maize, coconut, cassava, pineapple, and so on and so forth. So Agri provided food, meat, and employment for the Fanti states. Now, the states were all rising up, but it got to a time that there was declination of the states. So let's look at the general factors for the decline of the kingdoms in Ghana, or the collapsing of the kingdoms in Ghana. So one of the factors is internal disputes. There were internal conflicts in these kingdoms, more especially succession disputes, or even attempts are made by vassal states to break away from the control of these kingdoms. For example, the Asantes formed an alliance with the Wasa Seshi people to free themselves from the Ntra rule. So this internal disputes, there was agreement between the people. So it brought the declination of the kingdom of the Ashantis. So the British interference. The constant interference of the British in the affairs of these kingdoms also brought about the decline of these kingdoms. For the British going to war against the Ashantis in the year 1900 led to the decline of the Asante Kingdom. This war between the Asantes and the British in the year 1900 is often known as the Yasantua War. So the war between the Ashantis and then the British in 1900 is often called what? Yasantua War. It is called Yasantua War because the leader was called Yasantua. Okay, she was the queen mother of the Ashanti. Okay, then the third factor, conquest by other kingdoms. Conquest by other kingdoms. So, you see, the attack made by some kingdoms against other kingdoms also brought about the decline of some kingdoms in Ghana. For Gonja Kingdom attacked the Dagomba Kingdom, and this forced the Dagomba to relocate their capital from Biari to Yendi. That's why it brought what? The declination of the Gonja Kingdom, Dagomba Kingdom, sorry. So the desire to expand territories. The desire of some kingdoms to expand their territories made them to wage wars against other kingdoms, hence subdued them, that it brought them down. For example, the quest of the Asantis to expand her territory made them to attack some states such as the Fantis, Asantis, and the Dentra people. So in this video we've learned a lot. Yes, we've learned my country called Ghana, and then we learned the people of Ghana, then we learned the states in Ghana, and then the factors for the rise of the states, and we talked about the Mole Dagbani state, we talked about the Ashanti state, and we talked about the Fanti state, and then we talked about the declination of the kingdoms in Ghana. So I will see you in my next video.